Beautiful City Hall with a number of representatives from Bubbler Bikes, from Spin, from Lime, as well as from the Department of Public Works. I also want to point out the fact that we're joined by Milwaukee County Council members Sherilyn Moore of the 10th Aldermanic District and Alderman Peter Bergelis. Where does he go? There he is, from the 11th Aldermanic District as well. So you may have caught wind, you may have seen with people riding around Milwaukee as of late that scooters have been embraced by this community, and we're no longer are in a pilot phase of this program. We have a permanent scooter program in Milwaukee now. And that's important because Milwaukee sees a high amount of people using these micro-mobility methods to get around. We see very high ridership, which has continued to grow. In fact, over 1.5 million trips have happened in the city since our pilot programs started back in 2019. Over 700,000 trips happened in 2023 alone. Most daily trips per vehicle than most cities see. So Milwaukee is really punching above its weight as it relates to scooter usage. The city and its operators are committed to equity, making sure people of all ages, making sure that people of all abilities, all incomes and races are able to access scooters. So we'll make sure that these scooters are equitably deployed across the city. And Lime and Spin offer automatic discounts for trips in key equity areas as well. So I want to thank those providers for doing that. Lime and Spin both have access programs that offer discounts to low-income residents here in Milwaukee. Seated scooters will be available, as both companies are also partners with local disability organizations like the Milwaukee Disability Resource Center, as well as Independence First. Now on to Bubbler Bikes. There's a new executive director for Bubbler Bikes, Laura Bolger, who was appointed in February to lead Bubbler Bikes into a new era. And we're really excited about Laura and her leadership. 2023 saw record ridership for our Bubbler bike system, with more than 100,000 trips taken for the first time in Bubbler's 10-year history. 100,000 trips. Heard some round of applause going on. I'll clap up to that. That's good, right? So 2024 trips have tripled the date year to year when compared to 2023. And here's a brand new announcement as it relates to Bubbler bikes. There will be a new Bubbler station that will be installed in the transit concourse at the base of the Couture, and it should be open by the end of May, which will further enhance the transit station as a true mobility hub with both Bubbler and the Hop, well, three, Bubbler, the Hop, and Connect One, all at the base of the Couture. And because we take mobility very seriously here in the city of Milwaukee, we're not just talking about it, you're seeing investments on the street, you're seeing new methods to get around, whether it's a permanent scooter program, whether it's our Bubbler bike, whether it's the county's BRT, whether it's a streetcar. We really have embraced this. In fact, there's going to be a mobility summit that's coming up in Milwaukee as well. So the city is planning a broader mobility summit to grow the partnership between the scooter companies, to grow the partnership with Bubbler and the city of Milwaukee to promote mobility and achieve various city goals, to make sure that people, again, no matter what age, no matter what race, no matter what your income is, no matter what neighborhood, what zip code you live in, that you have access to equitable means to be able to get around our city. So stay tuned. That date is to be determined, but we do know that we're planning to host that sometime in June. And so these things don't happen by themselves. It's a lot of partnership in order to bring it all together, and lead agency for making many of these things work is our Department of Public Works. And at this time, I'd like to bring to the mic the Commissioner of the Department of Public Works, Gerald Kruschke. Commissioner Kruschke.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Mayor Johnson. I'm Gerald Kruschke. I'm the Commissioner of Public Works here at the City of Milwaukee. Today's an exciting day for the city. We're stepping into a new era of micromobility. Mayor Johnson has a vision to grow Milwaukee, and transportation is a big part of that. So we have to provide people with more choices so they can get around the city. And with that city's partnership with Lime, Spin, Bubbler, we can do just that. And not just any choice, but fun, healthy, and affordable choices. Micromobility provides equitable transportation. Scooters and bikes can be deployed in neighborhoods where transportation options may be limited. After 3 successful pilot studies, where we gain feedback and information about best practices, we are excited, finally, to establish a permanent scooter program. And we are thrilled to work with Lime and Spin, who have participated in our previous studies, and prove they can operate successfully and build relationships with residents throughout the city. Dockless scooters are a real complement to public transit, providing links and solving first and last mile connections. And I'd like to thank Mayor Johnson and many of the Common Council members, some here today, who supported the scooter program and are making it permanent. But I also especially like to thank Alderman Chambers and Alderman Bauman for being co-sponsors for this program to be successful long-term. Butler Bikes has proved itself as an accessible and convenient bike share system in the city for the past 10 years. And they continue to expand and are currently working with the city to pursue additional grant funding to provide even more e-bikes across the city to make it easier to travel. Dockless scooters and Bubbler bikes are a really great complement to each other. They both provide people with options to move around the city in different ways, and because of that, we're so proud to have them both in the city long term. With that being said, I'm going to introduce Leanne Foley, Lime's Senior Director of Government Affairs.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. Thank you, Commissioner Kruschke. I truly appreciate the partnership that Lime has been able to establish with the City of Milwaukee, with the Public Works leadership, and the transportation and mobility advocates across the city. Lime, first, as I'd like to introduce myself again, Leanne Foley, Senior Director of Government and Community Relations for Lime. Lime is the world's leading provider of shared electric vehicles, and we're incredibly proud and honored to be trusted with the responsibility of providing shared micromobility in the form of our scooters, our seated scooters, and our newest Gen 4.1 scooters that we first introduced to Milwaukee. Milwaukee was one of the first cities in North America to receive our latest and greatest technology. And we make those investments in the city of Milwaukee because we are partners with the city of Milwaukee. The city of Milwaukee and its leadership has worked for years, and I remember many of those days working with Mike through the pandemic, figuring out the best ways for people across Milwaukee to get around. And as of last year, before the permanent program was established, Lime saw over 500,000 rides across the city of Milwaukee, and we're very proud about that track record. We're proud about the relationships that we build with cities. We're proud about our financial sustainability and our ability to invest long-term in the cities that we serve. Not only do you see people using Lime scooters up and down the lakefront or through the 3rd Ward, but you see them commuting down Capitol as they're commuting to work. You see people using Lime scooters in our baskets on the seated scooters now to be able to go and grab groceries, to be able to explore the city, to be able to enjoy a Bucks game, to be able to go in around the Deer District and get around safely. Lime is committed to providing safe, affordable, and sustainable mobility for everyone, regardless of zip code, just as Mayor Johnson mentioned, regardless of the neighborhoods that you live in. Lime is committed to being where you need us to be, and we're very proud and honored to be one of the providers here in Milwaukee to keep the city growing, to keep the city moving well into the 21st century. And again, on behalf of Lime, I thank you all so much. I thank the Common Council. I thank our Public Works leadership, and of course, Mayor Johnson, for your leadership for making Milwaukee a leading city in micromobility. Thank you all. And with that, I'd like to invite my colleague from Spin, my counterpart from Spin, Jimmy Gilman.
Thank you, Lee, and thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mayor, for having us today. My name is Jimmy Gilman. I manage our government partnerships at Spin for our central region. We at Spin have had the pleasure of operating in each iteration of the city's pilot programs, starting in the year of 2019, and we're incredibly excited to be a part of the 2024 through 2026 permanent program. I really want to share some highlights of our operations at Spin over the past 5 years. We have forged strong community connections with groups such as the Near West Side Partners, Menominee Valley Partners, the Wisconsin Bike Fed, numerous business improvement districts, and many, many others. In 2022, we introduced a seated scooter to our fleet to expand accessibility of our offerings for folks of all different ability levels and comfort levels. And we have committed to equitable deployments across all different neighborhoods of the city. Moving forward, we will continue to commit to that equitable access, including providing automatic zone-based discounts in certain neighborhoods of the city. We'll continue to incorporate and introduce a variety of different vehicle options, adding to this fleet and providing options for folks of all different ability levels and comfort levels. And we will continue to grow our presence with our community partners, with our city partners, to make sure that we are integrating this service into the fabric of Milwaukee and Milwaukee daily life. Now, in closing, I want to share that it is SPIN's vision to provide an accessible and sustainable transportation forum to allow folks to access essential destinations in a city. We greatly look forward to integrating and aligning this vision with the city's goal of providing an active, enjoyable, and convenient transportation option to make Milwaukee a safe and convenient area to traverse. And thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson, for hosting this event to celebrate micromobility and setting the pace for future micro-transit activation. I'm Reese Schneider, and I proudly serve as Bubbler Bikes Board President, our local nonprofit bike share system, celebrating 10 years of connecting communities in and around Milwaukee. I'm also the Vice President of External Affairs at Discovery World, home to Bubbler's first station. Bubbler Bikes is committed to providing a sustainable, accessible, and affordable option for getting around the city, whether it's through annual passes, day passes, access passes for income-qualified neighbors, or fully integrated adaptive bikes for folks with varying abilities. Bubbler Bikes is here for our community. We are here for Milwaukee. We're excited for plans to have the majority of the bike fleet consist of e-bikes by 2025. E-bikes have proven to be more popular amongst riders and make bicycling a viable option for more people. We are also working to secure hundreds of new 3.0 docks, which are more nimble than the traditional Bubbler stations and will allow for quicker expansion into neighborhoods, create greater infill within the existing Bubbler network, and more reliability for riders. Bubbler Bikes was established as a nonprofit organization to support our residents and visitors with affordable, sustainable, active, and economical transportation option. Whether you are riding a Bubbler to get to work or school, running errands, or simply for the joy of riding a bicycle, Bubbler is rooted in Milwaukee and continues to champion transportation options like scooters and public transit. Thank you, and I hope to see you out on a Bubbler.
Well, thank you all so much to each and every single one of our partners. Again, I want to thank the Department of Public Works that's been leading the charge on this and making sure we had viable pilot programs over the course of the last several years. I want to thank members of the Common Council who have been so supportive of micro-mobility and our goals to grow the city and make sure that people, no matter what neighborhood they live in, no matter what zip code, no matter what their race or what their income is, that they also have access to these tools in order to be able to get around the city in the way that is most convenient and is best for them. I'm happy, again, that we have this program, that's a permanent program, the scooters that complement our bike share, our Bubbler Bike Share program. I'm happy that the Couture and the base of the Couture continues to prove itself as a transit hub with all of these methods to get around the city and do so in a safe and equitable manner will come to fruition as we move forward here over the next several weeks. And with that, I think we'll open up to any questions you guys may have. Sure. So micromobility is providing an opportunity for people to be able to get around even short distances with methods other than having a car. So some people may choose to walk, but some people may not choose to walk. Some people may choose to hop on a spin or hop on a Lime or hop on a Bubbler bike in order to get around. So it's making sure that the city is connected at all levels, whether you're traveling larger distances, which you may need to do by bus or perhaps by streetcar or perhaps in your own personal automobile, but then bringing that down to a smaller level in an area that may be too far to walk, but making sure you also have a tool in order to traverse those distances. And we have tools in order to be able to do that, especially to address some of those last mile instances that folks tend to have, right? If you have a job and it's a mile, let's just say, off of the bus line, well, if you have access to a scooter, then you're able to still get to where you need to go and do it in an affordable way. And that's what our goal is here with this program.
John, either as a city or as individual providers here, how do
That's a great question. I think there's been a lot of criticism in the past of sidewalk riding, and people are not everyone's a fan of a scooter. But what we've done, and we've partnered with both of Lime and Spin over the past few years, is what sort of notifications can these pieces of equipment have, like no, don't ride on sidewalks? We've been providing more bike lanes. So a lot of this program goes towards the proceeds are to help us build out the mayor's vision of 50 miles of protected bikeway. We want these individuals that are riding these pieces of equipment to ride in protected bike lanes. And it provides a safer option. It helps tackle reckless driving. But a lot of it comes into just press events like this. The more information we can tell public, the better. I mean, the additional corrals that we have for parking locations, the addition of the 3.0 stations to provide those quick access to these type of things, people are noticing it. So it's continued education and technology advancements.
Can you expand on how much revenue is expected to be brought in from the permanent partnership? I think there's like $400,000 for the pilot program, and how much of that is going to be for bike lanes?
Yeah, so the estimate right now is about 400,000. That could increase depending on how many more individuals ride on a daily basis. I think from the partners behind us, the more rides, the more profit they make. It's not a secret, but there's also a revenue generator for the city as well. So without the administration cost, the back of the house stuff, the rest of it goes into providing more protected bike lanes across the city. Yeah, so we have depending on what time of year it is, when we get into peak time, we'll have a minimum of 500 scooters per company, and they can ramp up to 1,000 per. Now, at that time, if the ridership continues to increase, they can negotiate with the city to increase that number even farther.
Is there any change to the way you sign up for it, or the amount that might cost now that there's this permanent partnership?
I don't think so. The payment structure, I can let one of those guys go into, but I think the prices are almost exactly the same as they were last year.
What is that? What is the payment?
Great.
Get that information to me.
Yeah, I think they both can get the information out there. Yeah. All right, thanks everyone.
Super.